2023, I must say, it was a challenging time for the judiciary. A challenging time because apart from its constitutional role and functions, the added responsibility of the election year. So that was what made it challenging. And then don't forget, we're transiting from one political era to the other. What I mean by that is that there was a fresh election where you have people, new heads of states, president vying. So it was challenging because there were too many expectations. And therefore, the courts were saddled. The regular courts, many of the judges were picked up to function as member and judges of the election tribunal, flowing from the election, that is the House of Assembly, the governorship, National Assembly, and presidential. So the same goes for the Court of Appeal. There were panels set up to hear appeal coming from the Houses of Assembly and National Assembly elections. And before then, there were also pre-election matters. These were matters that have to emanate from the Federal High Court or the State High Court, as the case may be, to the Court of Appeal and to the Supreme Court. So it was enormous, it was challenging. But however, no matter how daunting it was, I must say the judiciary did very well. Because assuming they didn't live up to the challenges, it's a different story. I am not aware of any singular matter where the cases has lapsed, because constitutionally they were expected to be conducted within the time frame. None. Some within 6 months, appeal 2 months, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court, including pre-election matters. So there was no case, I'm not aware of anywhere, one, because they couldn't finish up in time, it was lapse or any laxity. So I must commend them that they did very well. Yes, there are bound to be some challenges and sentiments being raised. Let me pose a question. If all litigants or plaintiffs or petitioners go to the court and all wins, have you ever seen it? It's not possible. So there must be a loser. So, but we've come to a state where people don't take losing in good faith. And then the next thing is to see some callous write-ups. The reason is that some of them are not based on facts and law. Majority haven't read the judgment to see the thinking. I've done some, I won some, I lost some, and the reasons are there. So you find it very absurd. Some of our colleagues in the papers and the TV, they write. Let us not lend our credence to study. Yes, I'm not saying that there are no few 1 or 2 areas where there are challenges of miscarriage of justice or otherwise. But to me, that is infinitesimal compared to the majority of good decisions that have been given. So to my mind, I think fair and square, if you say arithmetically or mathematically, to score them, probably 80% is an A in an exam. That's my view. The 2024, we are here, God sparing our life. It's no longer election year, except some of those few election matters from the states. My view is that, for example, the Supreme Court, now we have God helping us to have a full court, quorum. There should be discongestions. What I mean is that there will be more hands now So the decisions, the durations of hearing appeals will now be reduced. Instead of looking at the Supreme Court, any matter that comes to the Supreme Court, you cannot talk about less than 6 or 7 years before you get right for hearing. So let us do some weeding, some, call it exercises that may be, whether it's criminal or civil clearance, to deal with this, so that we can make way for speedy and expeditious dispensation of justice as the cases come. So those are those cases from the Supreme Court. Same things go for the Court of Appeal and all the courts. The essence is that when justice is denied, the efficacy becomes meaningless. It becomes pyrrhic. And don't forget, particularly in civil matters where you have now, our naira is dwindling. You're asking for debt. You're asking for some recovery. At the end of the day, the monetary value of what you're asking for, you can't compare it with the previous time when this matter started. So my view is that the dynamic nature of economically, the judiciary should come in headlong to also assist, so that that justice will be even and balanced economically, alongside with quick disposition of matters. That's the simple agenda, and all stakeholders must be on deck here, whether it's the legal practitioner or the judges, or the criminal aspect, all the security agencies, the EFCC, the ICPC, the police, the SSS, the NDLA, all hands must be on deck so that we can make progress. The society is dynamic. As we grow and we improve and we increase, there are bound to be more frictions. There are bound to be increase in crime. There are bound to be more in civil matters and frictions. So there have to be a procedure where we must adjust and adapt and anticipate this. Otherwise, we will be at the running end, at the backstage at all times.